Support for the Takeover Lounge is provided by the Arts Foundation for Tucson and Southern Arizona, funded by the City of Tucson and Pima County, with additional support from the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona. Welcome to the Takeover Lounge.
How are you today, Miranda?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming on to the show. So this episode is mainly to highlight on women entrepreneurs for Women's Month.
Okay.
And so perfect opportunity for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So just a little bit about you. Are you from Tucson, Arizona, or?
I'm actually from St. Louis, Missouri. I've been here 10 years now. I just migrated, wanted to change, something different. I always lived in St. Louis. And it's a great place. You know, I miss my family, but it wasn't what I saw for opportunities for me to grow, business-wise. So I just tried it out, and here I am.
Nice. When did you start getting into nail designs and nail art?
So I've always loved nails. I always loved nail art, but I didn't think that it was an opportunity for me to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I never really saw it as something that I would actually do, or didn't even think that I could do it. And then I just kind of branched out into just trying and kind of playing with it. And then my husband, who has been a barber, he's been a barber now 14 years. He was, had been a barber for a while then when I first met him. And he kind of encouraged me and was like, hey, if, you really love, doing nails, why don't you actually go to school for it and do it? And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. But at the same time, I got a whole job over here. It pays really well. I'm secure and benefits, all of that. I have 2 kids. It was just too many, in my mind, too many obstacles, what I thought, But I just kind of really pushed myself a little bit more and kind of talk to him more about it. I was like, I'm going to do it. It's either now or never. He's like, it's never going to be a great time to start a business. He's either you're going to do it or you're not. So I did. And I went to school and, and I just kind of went from there. So here we are.
What's your favorite part of owning your own business?
I think it's just the idea that it's mine. I can especially when I first started doing nails, I could create my own schedule, create my own pricing, just everything that I really wanted to do, and have for myself, I could do it and make it through my own business. Obviously it comes with a lot. There's a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, a lot of obstacles, a lot of grinding, hard, labor, late nights, things like that. But it's well worth it because in the end I can say I did this, I accomplished this. Nobody can take that away from me. That's not a job I can get fired from. It's always going to be there for me.
When you started the school process of it, how did you get hold of the funding and the different scholarships and payment plans that you have for students?
So, very great question. And to be honest with you, I haven't got a hold of any funding. That's where I'm, I wouldn't necessarily say struggling, but that's where I want to provide an opportunity for my students. So because I am a new school and I'm privately held, I don't have the opportunity to offer any type of federal grants or student aid or anything like that for the first 2 years of the school. They want to be able to monitor me, making sure that I'm actually graduating students and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing first before they offer that opportunity. And in 2 years, I don't necessarily just get it. I have to apply for it. They want to make sure that I've kept up with my records. What are my students that have graduated? What have they done? Are they actually going to take their state boards? Have they learned from me? That type of thing before they can verify, releasing any type of funding for students. So I did develop a sponsorship program with a nonprofit organization called IMU 360. They are an organization that helps pretty much any type of teenagers or youth in need that are homeless or that don't have able to provide hygiene products and things like that. They provide them with services here in Tucson. And so I partnered with them so that way people can, businesses that do donate can get a tax write-off benefit through donating through a nonprofit organization. But those funds would go to help tuition costs for students, whether it's full ride if I have the ability to be able to offer them that based upon their financial needs, or even if it's a portion of that. So right now we're just waiting on funds to get in. I do have a grant that I'm entered in through FedEx right now. So go vote for me. Every day, every 24 hours, you can vote. Put in your email address, real simple. And voting closes the 24th, and then they nominate 100 people as of the 31st. So we're hoping to get, nominated and actually get the funds, and then other businesses to be able to help, donate. So other than that, I do offer payment plans for students, because I know it's difficult. Everyone does not have the ability to be able to just outright pay for, tuition. So I do offer them payment plans based upon their budget, but as long as they're able to pay off the balance 2 weeks prior to their graduation date is what we ask. So that way it doesn't, create any hardships for them financially going into their career.
Nice. Being a teacher, what's one of the hardest moments you've witnessed, and how do you deal with those students that kind of get into their own heads type of thing, that they can't do it or they don't want to continue with it? How do you deal with that?
So probably like that, it probably would be the most challenging part of it would be, to me, there's a lot of challenging parts, but the most, I think, is when students are not really confident in themselves, don't really believe in themselves, don't really see, the forest through the trees, as they say. They kind of like, oh, well, I'm not really doing this right, or this doesn't look, or they look at like what they see my work now as, and they're like, I can't do it like that. And I'm like, well, of course not. I've been doing nails for 9 years, so it's not supposed to look like that the first time around. There may be some things that you do amazingly the first time around, but there's some things that you may struggle with, and that's okay. It's trying to help them, I feel like, find their niche. What type of nail tech do you want to be? Do you want to be the most fabulous manicurist? Do you want to, be like me? I like intricate nail designs, encapsulations. I'm the person that you're going to come to get a personalized nail service. Is that the type of nail tech you want to be? Just trying to find your way, because what I do may not fit you. There's people that, I've had 2 nail techs now in a previous class and now in this class that love detailed nail art, all the way down to like drawing like Winnie the Pooh and, all these like intricate things that they're like, I never did that before, but now I'm doing it. And, I'm trying to pull that out of them, what I'm saying? It doesn't mean necessarily me being, I think people think that students that come to me because I'm a teacher or because I do amazing nails, that they're going to be just like me and they're going to do, that's not what it's all about. It's about figuring out who they want to be in this industry and making them the best them that they want to be, and teaching them all the things that I know. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. So I'm going to teach them as much as I can. And sometimes we learn together. Sometimes I'm finding things out. Things change so much, a dynamic, especially in the nail industry. It changes often. So I just try to keep myself abreast of things as well, too, while trying to teach them things. So yeah, being a teacher, I feel like, just really motivating them. I don't feel like it's, hopeless at all, but I feel like at the same time, sometimes it can be challenging because they don't see it. But I feel like there's ways to kind of get them motivated, kind of showing them and then even telling them my story. Like, one, I started older, I wasn't in my 20s. I have students that started at 19. I have an 18-year-old now. That you're at a great opportunity because you're young to start early. I didn't start doing nails until I was 30 because I didn't see it for myself. I didn't know it. So don't wait. If you really want to do it and you have a passion behind it, do it now. So.
Yeah. And how was it for you starting your nail journey, but still being a mom to 2 kids and having to do, your mom duties?
Yes.
How did you keep that balance between school and the mom life?
I feel like it was a little easier because at the time when my husband, we're not married, where he wasn't then, he helps a lot, because he was already someone who had a trade being a barber. He knew how that worked. So that was definitely a lot of help. And then also just showing my kids, I'm trying to do this for us. This is the foreseeable future. Type of thing. This isn't just right now. I do, I was blessed. I do have a business degree with an emphasis in human resource management, but I was I don't want to do that anymore. Sounds crazy. I went to 4 years school, took even an extra credit, but it was it sometimes just doesn't work out that way. It's not a thing of you can't use it or do anything with it. It's just there's something else that I want to do. I want to transition to another field. So with balancing the kids and everything else and their school and all that, it's challenging. It's not going to be easy for anybody, but it's worth it because I knew what I wanted. Right. I feel like that's what drove me the most. what my passion behind what I really wanted to do. And it kind of just like was second nature. It's like, okay, we've got to do this. And okay, now we got to do this. And just, setting a schedule, writing things down, because trying to keep things in your memory does not work, because I do not have the best memory at all. Key will attest to that. I don't have the best memory, but I'm not supposed to. I'm trying to, juggle a lot of different things, and especially when you're a mom. And I have, some moms in my class now. I got twin little girls are 3, and I'm like, girl, more power to you. Like my kids were, some age differences. I haven't had any that were exact same age, so that's a lot, But no, I see her and she does it, like I think it just becomes something that you figure out once you love to do it, that, hey, I got to do this, and my kids need me. And I feel like, sometimes you have to push things on the back burner and say, you know what, this isn't important right now. My family is, maybe something's going on with them and I need to take care of that. Or, hey, this is more important right now. My kids, there's nothing, nobody's in danger, nothing's on fire. So kind of like they're okay right now, and I got to handle this, I feel like just figuring out that balance for yourself. Everybody's different, but you can do it if you want to do it.
That's true. We're big on like mental health and fitness and, keeping yourself right when you're out in the society that we're in right now. So what are kind of some of the things that you do for yourself?
So I got a personal trainer this past year, and I've been working out with her. Absolutely killing me. But, at the same time, it's been great. It was a lot, especially in the beginning. One, I'm not a morning person. So getting up at like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and going to work out. But I really stayed dedicated to it. I was proud of myself, trying to like eat right and just like really drinking a lot of water and just, it's not even just like for looks, it's for myself, like mentally, like to be prepared, like to open up a school. That's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot of emotional and mental, like, things that I have to put on myself. So to be able to do that, I have to be able to like, make sure I'm good. Right. So to make sure I'm good, I felt like that was necessary. It became something that I actually enjoyed, over time, like just working out. And I don't work out as much just because, she's now training to be a firefighter. So she, that her schedule changed, drastically, and I knew it was going to come, but I got a good like 6-7 months in with her. Yeah. So now I'm just doing things at home. I'm not hardcore as she goes. She went out on me, so I don't know that I'll ever be able to necessarily keep up with that. But, I feel like it kept me balanced, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure, I definitely say pick something. I try to even tell my girls, I'm like, I know you may not full on work out 7 days a week or anything crazy, but even if you can do something like stretching and just like really, whether it's yoga or just some kind of something, because your body gets worn down, just sitting all day, not doing anything, just eating crazy. Like I'm telling you, your body is you're not gonna last long in any industry, but particularly in nail tech, because we sit all day. So you have to be able to have some kind of something that keeps you going and moving. Yeah, so it's important.
What do you feel like your school is going? Like, what would be the future for your school?
So I do want to open up MJ Nail Studios. So basically that would be a salon where it would just harvest only my students. So you've had to either have taken a class from me or actually graduated from me. So when people come to get services there, they know exactly what they're getting. They know that they're getting students that have graduated and went to an actual school to learn how to do nails. So that's coming next. And then I do want to open up other locations, other academies, since this is the first one. I don't want it to be the only one. We started small. I did that on purpose. One, because I want to be able to spend one-on-one time with students. So I only take 10 students max at a time. So that way I can give them a personalized opportunity to really get all that they need to learn from me. And then on top of that, I didn't want to go too crazy, starting too big, and then I get overwhelmed as well. I'm wearing a lot of hats. I'm the owner, I'm the instructor, I'm doing a lot of things. So I don't want to, burn myself out. So yeah, I do want to open up a multitude of locations, at least probably like 2 or 3 more here in the Tucson area, and then maybe going out maybe towards like the Phoenix or, Mesa area, that type of thing, and then maybe even other states. I mean, had somebody call me and was like, hey, do you want a franchise? And I'm like, oh, franchise? Like, ooh, girl, you starting out real big, B.I.G. I'm like, ma'am, I just opened like last year. But at the same time, you do have to think future, you know what I'm saying? So that is something that could be a possibility for the future, for sure. For
That's
sure.
exciting.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Good. A little bit of like your nail program. What does it entail?
So they are obviously going to learn everything about like what you need to in order to pass obviously your state board exams. Everything about sanitation, about cleanliness. One, outside of the pandemic, that's one big part of it. Making sure that you stay clean and you're not transferring anything, any type of infectious diseases or anything like that. But also just wanting to maintain a clean area, for the safety of your clients and their health and your health as well. But I also teach them about marketing, about having to advertise, about your social media, because that's important too, especially in this day and age. You really can't, I can say for myself that probably a good 90% of my clientele when I started out came from social media. A good portion of it was like, people seeing the other people's nails and the word of mouth, but a great portion of it was my social media. It built, I think, very quickly. I think I'm like at 107,000 followers. I feel like it came out of nowhere, it feels like, but I feel like that really did push me over the edge. So I feel like that's important to them, for them to know about that. I teach them about, I do have a CPA that comes, teaches them about accounting and taxes, because you're going to own your own business. You need to know how to manage your money, how to manage your receipts, how to, open up your bank account, how to do an LLC, how to, have your EIN number, all of those things that you need to know about a business. I teach them about that too, because that's what I'm trying to create. It's like literally like girl bosses. I want you to learn how to work for yourself and not work for anybody else. You didn't go to the school to get your own trade to go work for somebody else. Nothing wrong with that, but to have that ability to work for yourself, I think that's what it's about. So that, and then obviously everything about nails, like we do pedicures, manicures, full sets, hard gel, acrylic, nail art, everything. They learn pretty much anything that you can think of nail related, and obviously anything like skin related. They learn about that too, all the way down to like what the details are, in our health and our system and our body, like the massages and just everything. It comes with a lot, and it's only 3.5 months long. You have to get 600 hours, but we learn a lot in the 3.5 months. And I do offer them a continuing education class for free. So once you are done and you've graduated, you've taken your state board, I do walk them through, just maybe say, for instance, I'm still struggling with shaping and foundation. They come to me for another couple of days and things like that to be able to get some additional information on how to do that, or nail art or whatever the case may be. And then I also walk them through, because I notice a lot of a lot of schools, trade schools, don't really go over how to do your state boards. Like they just kind of like push you out the door and like, oh, you've graduated and you've done. But I feel like, walking them through, how do I go through the process of applying for my boards, and actually, walking them through what are they going to do when they get to the state board exam, because that is a nerve-wracking process, so I kind of show them all of that, explain the process and the details with that as well too. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What do you feel like is a big obstacle for a lot of girls that you've seen come to the school?
I would probably say the biggest obstacle, I believe, is just managing like scheduling, like trying to figure out how to, like now I'm a nail tech, and how do I figure out this and life, and building clientele, and just knowing like where to go next, because they kind of get used to, I feel like it comes to school, it's kind of plush, like they got their own desk, their own area, like, we have fun in here and things like that, which I do want them to like create their own idea of who they want to be when they now go out and work, and build their clientele. But I don't want them to get too lax, because now you have to figure out what's the next, like building. And then another thing, like getting products, because our products are expensive, and that we need a lot of them. Like just to do like just a basic set of nails, you're looking at anywhere between like 15 to 20 products. It's not just like one thing and you're done. There's a lot of things, and that's just something basic. So now if you're going to be into intricate nail art and designs and things like that, you're going to need a lot of things, and they're costly. So I try to get them, to understand that and not get them overwhelmed with it, but at least know, hey, this is going to be something I need to invest in myself in. and let's learn how to like start budgeting to build your product list, like what you need now. Of course, they get, an amazing kit, when they come to the school, but they're going to need a lot more products throughout. And then replenishing those items, like how does that work? And then, I do have some relationships with some companies where I can get them discounts and things like that. So I try to help them with that, because I feel like that's probably the most challenging is just like getting all of that balance together, because they get out and they're like, oh girl, I didn't know I had to do all of this. Like, I'm thinking I'm just going to sit down and just do nails somewhere. I'm like, no, it's a lot that goes into it. But I think that I try to anyway, prepare them for that as much as I can. I let them know, like, hey, if you want to talk to me about anything and you need help, even when you graduate, like, I'm here, like, I'm not going anywhere. You can't message me. I know my messages get a little overwhelming, but I want to be able to help them. I don't want them to just think that, this is it, once you're here and I'm done and they're on their own and they're by themselves, because I don't want them to feel like that, because I know I'm self-taught.
Yeah.
I didn't have anyone like myself to really help guide them and position them where they need to be, to get them to that next level. Like, I want to help be that for them.
Oh, that's good. So we have one question that we ask all of our guests.
Okay.
I don't know if you're like a superhero or...
Not necessarily superhero, but I do watch. I am a TV connoisseur.
Okay.
I watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and so yeah, it could be in the superhero. It doesn't matter to me. As long as it's good, it keeps my interest, I'll watch it.
There you go. So if you could pick any superhero power, what would it be and why?
Superhero power, what would it be and why? I think I would want the ability to help change the way people think sometimes. Because I feel like people have blinders on a lot when it comes to things. So being able to like somehow maybe size myself down and just like jump in their hair real quick and like rewire some things, be like to think a little bit different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, or erase some things in their head to be like, okay, don't think like that. That doesn't make any sense. So like allow people to think different, you know what I'm saying? Just about a lot of different things, like how they treat people, you know what I'm saying? How they make other people feel, that type of thing. So I feel like I don't know if that's a real superpower necessarily.
Like mind altering.
Like mind altering, metamorphosis type of, that's probably the best way to describe it, I think. But yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of, the reason what I would want to change.
That's a good one. That's honest. I think that's the first mind altering one that we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
We've had like flying, teleporting.
Yeah, that's cool too.
One of them said like endless money.
Yeah.
That they could just like have money.
Yeah, that would be awesome too. Now you gotta be real careful with that one. But yes, that would be awesome too. Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you for, allowing us to come in and
great.
accepting our offer to, do this interview. And I know my mom and I came into your shop one day.
I remember.
And the pedicures were great.
Great.
But it is nice to see, a local want to grow out from Tucson as well, but still show a lot of love to Tucson. So that's really cool to know. And for me, I'm not from here either, but this is the longest city I've lived, the longest period of time I've lived in one city.
Okay.
So
okay.
I've been here for 8 years. So
okay. Look, we're around the same time. Yep. Yep. So yeah, you were around the same time when I first came in. I was just like, man, it's not small, because people think Tucson is so small, but it's small-minded, meaning like they are like, okay, got our one highway, we do things like this, we go in this direction, like, they, are good with how things are type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to, I feel like, help bring that change about, to help change their mentality about certain things and kind of grow, not, too fast, because I get it. People don't realize it, like, we need more things here, which is great. We definitely do want more like things with the more tourist attractions, the bigger we make the city. Right. Guess what? The cost of living is going to go up, and it's high right now.
Yeah.
So the more things you want, the more we're going to have to pay for those things, the higher those taxes are, which, so it's like, hey, got to kind of weigh it out a little bit. So yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciate the opportunity. I'm so glad you guys came, and this is great.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.